Sup guys, how we doing? Welcome back to another video. Apologies to my mother off the bat for having a hat on the side, and it's a little bit higher than normal. I quite like would I have suited the army where they wear hats like this? It's like an American look, isn't it? It's like, low brim, high at the back, sort of flat top type look. Look, I'm just trying to hide my hair at the moment actually. I'm due another haircut. Will I cut it myself this time? I'm not entirely sure. All of that and more will be revealed. I'm probably due something down here as well. But today I'm actually here to discuss the title of this video, the topic of socializing without alcohol, or with. As the title suggests, the big question. Having gone out to a social occasion, surrounded by alcohol, surrounded by other people drinking alcohol. In fact, the social occasion was in a bar, a sports bar, at a trivia night, with workmates. Did I drink or did I not? That is the question you may have, being that the title of this video does pose that question. And I'm here to tell you, fortunately, confidently, no, I didn't. I didn't drink. I was asked, am I drinking? Because I had a glass of Coke in front of me, and I said, no, not tonight. Easy as that. It's a choice. I went there knowing I wasn't going to drink. I went there knowing that I'm going to be surrounded by alcohol, but knowing that I was always going to have a choice. It wasn't going to be forced on me. This was a social occasion I was invited to. I decided to say yes. I knew it was going to be at a bar. I knew that certain people there were going to be drinking. In fact, they discussed it before we even went. And I knew that ultimately the choice was going to be up to me. And that's what I've always said all along. When you're ready to quit drinking, when you're ready to say no, when you're ready to make that change, you'll do it. You'll do it when you're ready. I was always going to do it when I was ready. I was never going to be convinced of the right time to stop drinking by anyone else. It was always going to be me. I was always going to have to make my own mistakes, fall down as many times as it took, get back up, be confronted with another day and another decision. Do you drink or do you not? Now, let's play devil's advocate. Let's say that I was convinced. Let's say that I did have a drink. I know I would have gotten through that drink and I would have wanted another one. And I would have got another one. And I probably would have got another one. And I probably would have got another one. And I may have even got a fifth drink, not a fifth of whiskey. That was the old me. A fifth drink. And I would have driven home, most probably over the limit, and I would have been driving home thinking, what caused you to make that decision to drink instead of not? I wouldn't have had any better of a time than I did. I'm not going to go out there and say that I had a smashing good time and I'd run back to the next trivia night. But I turned up, and it's important to show face, especially with work colleagues every now and then. It improves the relationship. Meeting work colleagues out of work, be it for half an hour, just in and out, show your face and leave, or whether it's for 3 hours like this trivia night was, it's important. And it's important to nurture those relationships and break free of the office small talk. They're nothing. They don't. It's small talk. It's office chat. Very little of it. It's meeting up outside of work gives you an opportunity to sort of let your hair down, be in casual clothes, in a casual environment, talking about shit that does not involve work. Depending. I mean, when you start talking about work and you're actually out of work, that's a bit of a worry. And I'm sure we did talk about work. But either way, I knew I was going there, and I knew that being a trivia night, we'd have something to talk about, we'd have something to, focus on that would lead us through the night instead of just having to figure out what we were going to talk about. I knew that going there with something to do, with an actual, focus of the night was going to help me. It was going to benefit me. I was going to be able to, talk to everyone and show face. But at the end of the day, there was a start, which was 7 o'clock, and there was an end, which was 9:30. And that's exactly what happened. So I went home. I drove home. I had a bill that night of $9.50 for a Coke and a lemon, lime and bitters. And as I was at the bar ordering my first drink, I saw an advertisement on the bar, a little plastic menu type thing with a piece of paper stuck in there with a drink advert. A drink, must be a new drink. It was a grape flavoured vodka soda in a can, 3.5%. Pitiful 3.5%. That's the first thing I thought. Secondly, it cost $12.50 for a 350 milliliter can. That's less than one standard drink for $12.50. I got 2 drinks for less than $10. And I was quite happy with them. So I say all of this to sort of just reiterate that I'm on a good trajectory at the moment. I wouldn't have gone if I wasn't feeling confident enough to stay sober. If I was to drink at this stage, it would have to be such a good reason, because it would be such a risk. Risk versus reward. That would be the decision I'd have to make. Is the risk of having a drink, if not 1, 5, if not 5, maybe 10, or maybe more, worth the reward of the way that it might make me feel on that particular night? Is the risk that I'm going to wake up that next morning with the hangover and the first thing that's going to pop into my head is wanting another drink to get rid of that hangover? Because that's exactly what would happen. And I would have to, once again, go through withdrawals, somehow, some way, say no to that next drink to combat those withdrawals, get to bed that next night sober, and do it all again. Am I able to drink moderately? I still like to think yes, but that is a dicey mindset to have. And to be honest, for the most part at the moment, I don't consider having a drink. I don't even think about it. I'm not tempted. And I most certainly wasn't tempted on Tuesday night. So I think that is about enough from me tonight. I am tired. It's gone past 9 o'clock. I got up at 5:30 this morning. I was out the door at 6. I went for an hour's walk, got back at 7, had a coffee, had a shower, at a leisurely pace, made it to work just in time, left work 3:45, got to the gym at about 4, trained legs for 90 minutes, went on the Stairmaster for 10 minutes, went and stretched for about 15 minutes. Then I got home, I made some chicken breast and some sautéed onions. I also prepared some pork for tomorrow's protein source. I had a mini drumstick ice cream and a mini portion of chocolate brownie for dessert, washed down with some watermelon flavoured BCAAs, which, to be fair, tastes a million times better than any alcoholic beverage ever could. So, big question. Did I drink? No, I didn't. Was I tempted? No, I wasn't. Is that because of the people and the environment I was in? Possibly. Was this the first time that I met up with my workmates outside of work? Yes. Was I nervous? No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. And that's comforting. That means that there is absolutely zero drama. Yes, work may be boring as shit sometimes, but there's zero workplace tension or drama, which meant turning up as sober as a judge was never going to be an issue. There was going to be smiling faces everywhere, and I had a smile on mine too. Was I good at trivia? No, I wasn't. Did I get a couple of answers here and there? Yes, I did. But yeah, it was nothing to write home about, that's for sure. I did get, on the off chance, the father of Goku in Dragon Ball Z. I knew it. I got it instantly. That was one. I was waiting for the Pokemon question next, but it never came. And if you know the father of Goku, put it down in the comment section below. Let's see how many people can get it. Let's see what generation you're from, because I remember like it was yesterday, running home from school, and first it was Pokemon at 4 o'clock, then it was Dragon Ball Z at 4:30, and then it was Neighbours at 5 o'clock, then it was Home and Away at 5:30, then it was the news at 6. I waited for the sport, which usually came on at about 6:40, followed by the weather, which I never paid attention to. And then at 7 o'clock, it was Shortland Street. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30, it was Coronation Street. And those were the days when we had 4 channels to choose from. Those were the days. Those were the days. Life was simpler back then. And I loved it. I had a PS1 plugged into the TV. Crash Bandicoot, Tony Hawk's, Gran Turismo. Those were my 3 favourites. And they still are. Funny that. Thanks guys, and I will see you in the next one. It's been a pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed my story for tonight, and tomorrow morning I will wake up bright and early and tell you another one.